welcome Facebook listeners and Media listeners as well to our broadcast today. I want to thank you for your time that you're spending, and I know you could be doing many other things, but you're spending your time here with us this morning, and I want to let you know that I'm grateful for that. And though you could be doing other things, being here is it's wonderful, and I want to thank you for that. So today I'm just getting some other things here set up. We're going to be talking about uh, what I call the direct experience and the direct experience from our research. And let me get the part of the presentation here that's going to help us go through it. And I know last week I said this is going to be kind of short, but this week I'm serious because I had to go to a party right after this, and the party is for my mother-in-law. Today actually this weekend is her birthday, but we're going to celebrate it today. So let's get sharing going here soon here. Here, here, share. Let us share. And we're almost there. And here we are. So we're going to start out again. We're from my book, Joseph Building Financial Literacy. And you can pick this up on Amazon. And there's also in Barnes and Nobles in your here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. You can pick up the book at Barnes and Nobles. So let's carry on. So we're going to talk about that actionable financial literacy decision model. Again, it starts out with first having the financial knowledge, and then the behaviors, the analysis and information that comes in, and the behavior, the changes that we need to take effect after we learn to have these skill sets challenged and directed in our lives. Starts out with stewardship, money basics, investing, borrowing, and protecting. And those are changes that need to occur. Initially, we need to monitor those things maybe on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, semi-annual, and an annual basis. And those changes is a continual thing that we have throughout the course of our lives. Now, within that, these are behavioral changes that we need to check within those monthly, quarterly, semi-annual basis. So with the behavioral checks that we have, this is the behavior model. You're looking to see if you're checking if you're having the right economic changes, and if those economic changes are economic behaviors, and if those economic behaviors have the right financial effect, and if the questions, the answers, 1 and 2, economic and financial behaviors are having the right changes, if there's making any, is there any monetary flaw to those behaviors? And then the fourth point is if they're economic behaviors and financial behaviors, and if there's no monetary flaw, then you're looking to see if anything's unrealistic in what you're thinking. And then if those first four answers are plausible, then you're looking to see if you can recreate anything that you've done or learned. Can you recreate that in others, or in a larger society of what you're doing. And so those behaviors, once you do it within those skill sets, then you can change your behavior for others as well. So that's a continuous cycle that you create for yourself and others, and you just continue to recreate it. What makes it actionable when you're able to create what you learned in your cycle and you within yourself, and you're able to recreate it outside towards others. So it's not just you, it's being able to recreate it. That's when it becomes actionable. When you recreate it outside of where you've learned it, outside of where you've actually performed it, outside of where you were actually created it once before. So actionable knowledge. So now we're on we're to the mid part of my book, where it talks about the method to discovery. And last we talked about the qualitative nature of my research and what I read about uh, uh, my study. And so those five major lessons was what went down, what I read about, and then the method to my discovery. So within the method to the discovery, I talked about the benefits of the lived experience of the individuals that I sat down with. And as I mentioned, I went to three different ethnic churches. One church was African American, Latino, then the Anglo church. Three different churches in the major metropolitan area of Phoenix, Arizona. So there was other cities as well. And I wanted to experience the individuals. I wanted to get and their thoughts, their insights, and their meaning behind you know, economics, their behaviors, and the influences that they were having from being in a faith environment. And the only way I felt I would get that if I was experiencing what they were experiencing in their environment. And the only way you can do that, you have to walk in that person's shoes or walk in that person's place and kind of feel it. And I spent two months at each location. 2 months is not an extended period of time by no means. It doesn't. Uh, I mean, 2 months is just a brief moment in time. However, for those 2 months, I immersed myself in not only just going there on Sunday. I went there. They had uh, different classes through the week, and then they had some on like men's study, and then they had some classes as well. So I went to they had a couple of classes at each location also because I wanted to know how they felt. And one of the locations, um, a lot of their teachers and their midweek studies were authors, and they wrote several books, and their books are actually sold in their bookstores. So that made it very interesting because they were authors, and and sometimes when you write a book, you're able to get your thoughts out of your mind and put it on paper. And what it does is it takes the ideas that are imaginary and put it in the real world, in the world. It was in physical form for others to be able to take that information themselves and then grow from there. And when you write a book, when you're able to take non-tangible information and put it in a tangible form, it helps. It helps other people to understand it, help others to kind of to be able to grow from it. And so you have the opportunity to do so. It'd be a great thing to do. You don't have to wait until you get a PhD to write a book. You have some thoughts. You can find yourself an editor or a publisher, and may cost you a little bit, but go to work and write your book. So, but the meaning of it, what I wanted to do from that experience, I wanted to experience the behaviors, the economic behaviors, and those influences when it came to being in the faith environment and seeing, feeling, and understanding what my uh, group, or the group I was getting the feel for, understanding from, I wanted to feel what they felt. And each location was fabulous. You know, each location was fabulous, and they opened their arms and they're willing to accept me there. And they knew I was there to do research, and it was about finance, and it was about God's people. So that uh, made it very good. So uh, again, so the benefits of describing the lived experience of the individuals, I was able to see their intimate thoughts. I was able to provide greater insights to the meaning of the economic behaviors or the influences. And I'll share this now, but I'll share it later. Uh, one of the participants in the study, and this wasn't a question on my research, but he shared it with me, is that like financial advisors were more interested than selling you their products more so than giving you their professional experience or their professional insights. So that was the thing that bothered him the most. He wanted to get he wanted to get the experience from the financial professional, that financial professional's insights, knowledge, wisdoms about being in the market, being investing, and how that the professional's experience from being in the market, being in the professional, um, and but the professional was more so talking about the product, and I understood that because I've been an investment advisor for 26 years, and then in that 26-year period, I've seen a lot. I've seen the economy take off. I've seen the economy burn. I've seen it take off, and I've seen it burn, and I've seen quite a few things. Um, in 1994, I've seen the market rocket up. From 1994 to 1999, I've seen the market rocket up. I had a client in 94, he had 100 grand. I've seen 99, 2000, I've seen that rocket up from 100 grand to 400 grand. And then right around 1900, that's when the dot-com bubble came out, and I seen it go down. And um, I seen from when it went down in 2000, I seen the rocket back up. And then like 2007, that's when it went down. I seen the market go down again. But the market does that. So that client wanted to know that financial professional's insights to things like that. And the professional wasn't able to provide that. He just wanted to sell that individual those funds. But it's that conversation that I had with that participant that gave me the insight. And if I didn't experience that with that individual in the study, I wouldn't have gotten that, and I would and be able to share it with you. So those insights are very valuable, and it's very good to have when when by doing this study. So I was able to put it in a book and then let others know about it. Sometimes the professionals, they can be consumed with the product or services they're offering, and they may miss on the sharing with you the customer being in the experience or their experience of being a financial professional. And sometimes you may have to, hold on, wait a minute. I understand you have a great product, but could you share with me your experience of being a professional in the economy and how the market ups, downs, backwards, forwards? Share with me your insights. And that's what you have to do as a client, customer sometimes. And as a professional, you need to sometimes step back and be able to share with that client what you know, what you've experienced, what you've seen. So for me, those intimate thoughts, those intimate feelings that the customer or that or the customer is expecting, and you as a professional need to provide, have to have that understanding. And so it's the direct experience approach for me. I felt opened the door and provided access to matters that were dear to the heart of those who cling to faith, because they felt that, God has given them this blessing of being able to have the extra so they can put things away. So they're looking for some, whoever the person that sends them, God sends them to help them have the information they need to help them go even further. So if you come to them, they've already prayed and they believe that you're the person that God wants, but they're going to put you through the test too as well as a professional to say, okay, what have you had for me, or what do you have for me, or how can you help me? And your objective is, when you get there, is, okay, how can I help this client? How can I get this client to the place they want to be? So as a professional, that's what you're looking for. How can I help them? Not what you can sell them, but how can I help you? You find out where they are, where they want to be, and then you put plans in place to help them get there. And that's how you help them. I mean, sometimes they're already at a certain point and they're already on their way, and maybe some things need to be tweaked here and there. You can help them get them on their way. But being in that direct experience, um, and doing my research, that's what I found. And sometimes you just have to, you need to step back out of step back out of step out of what you feel, how you feel, and then you can get that done. As a matter of fact, there's a scripture. Let me see if I can find it. Um, I thought I searched it before I, and let me see if I can find it here. I have to find it for you later. But it says, I think it was in Proverbs, but God said, how can you first you have to take care of the wealth of another man's before you can take care of the wealth of your own. Yeah. How can you take wealth? Uh, how can God trust you with the wealth of your own if you can't take it the wealth of another man? Yeah, where is that scripture at, man? The Bible scholars out there, I heard you screaming. You want to tell me the scripture? I hear y'all. I hear you. I think it's in Proverbs. But if you can't take care of the wealth of someone else, make sure they get to their spot, their help, their place. How can God trust you with your own? So you have to help someone else get to where they need to be for you, and then God. Once you do that, then God trusts you with your own. That's what happened to Joseph, and that's why the book Joseph, because I had him in mind. And my name just happened to be Joseph. Joseph would help Pharaoh, and Joseph was in the prison and in the pit, and he got up there to be up with the Pharaoh. He showed the Pharaoh how to get to his wealthy place. He said when he interpreted his dreams about 7 years in famine, and 7 years in famine, and then 7 years in prosperity. And he showed Pharaoh how to get to that wealthy place. And because he showed Pharaoh how to get to where he needed to be, Joseph became wealthy. So he took the wealth of another man's, and then God gave him wealth of his own. So that direct experience really helps out. So you got to be mindful of that. And let's see here. So the experience of experiencing the consciousness of individual choices and the resultant behavior. So you got to experience the experiencing. And that's how change occurs. That's how, I mean, really understanding occurs. You have that experience. One of the things that when I went to one location, and I was there for those months, I tell you, at the end of every service, everyone in the church, the entire church, at the end of each service, they would all get together and they would hold hands. Everyone to get together, hold hands, and at the end of the service, they would sing a song, and everybody joined together. They would sing a song at the end, and then the pastor would give benediction, and everyone would hold hands and pray. And that's how they would in the service. Everyone holding hands. And now, man, I don't have my mask up here. At the end of the service, I wonder how they're doing it because that was in 2000, probably 2011, and that's 11 and 12, and that's when I was finishing up my research. And I said, man, I wonder how they're doing it now because with COVID now and everybody's we're mindful of touching hands and everything. So they probably got gloves, gloves, and they got the mask. So now everyone is probably all masked up and gloved up and holding hands, but they're probably still doing it if they're inside the church location. But they're probably still doing that. But me experiencing that was something big. That was something big because I was there. And then, when I went to the Latino church, it was everything was in Spanish. The sermon was in Spanish. The Bibles that they had there were in Spanish. The songs are in Spanish. And me is like muy poquito español, muy. But by muy, I kind of went along with it, kind of going along with what was being said, what was being taught. My wife is Latino, so she was kind of helping the brother, and I was like, yeah. I was kind of going along with it, so I kind of understood. But just being in there and just hearing the songs, and actually, when I heard some of the words and then the beat, I knew what song they were singing. I did, and I kind of went along. I knew the song, so I was like, yeah, I know this one, So, but it was an experience of being there and seeing it and understanding, God was there and all of it, and that experience was just it's like wonderful to be in that and know that it's all singing to the same God. That was a good thing. So sometimes when you have that experience, you understand, and then there are times that sometimes people don't understand the experience, and I'll give you an experience that some people don't understand. Like I'm African American. Sometimes some people don't think so. I was in this Facebook group. It's called Black Fathers, and I have Dr. Joe on my Facebook profile, and I mentioned that I can't even remember what I was responding to, but the guy said I was blackish and had a PhD. Like because I had a PhD, that made me not black anymore, which is crazy. But people sometimes don't know that I'm from the inner city of Baltimore, Maryland, 915 North Stricker Street, and that's they call it Sandtown. That's not the easiest place to grow up in. I mean, I had my own little tussles and things like that, but it's absolutely the inner city. I've seen some not so good things there in Baltimore, and I've seen people shot, stabbed, hit with a bat, and I've seen some things there, and some of those things I've seen when I was in elementary school. So, and people getting robbed. I got robbed, and I ain't do no robbing though, but bullies and yeah, I only bullied one guy. Okay, but you see things like that, but you grow out of it. I mean, I lived through it. I lived through all those things. I had a bunch of uncles. I had uncles that showed me how to knuck it up though. He showed me how to do that. But people don't realize that, I'm from a place like that because I experienced it, and did some experiencing it well. I was able to grow from it. I still got a ton of family in Baltimore, and I can go back there today. I would feel comfortable being there, but some of the people may not be comfortable with me being there because hey, you sound different. But my experience in Baltimore is still in me. My experience of living there is still in me. It's still here. Baltimore is still inside of me. But the new Joe, no, I'm still here. I'm still the same Joe I was when I was there, but I'm just smarter. I just get more information, more knowledge. I just develop myself because of my experiences. I developed myself into a greater me, a greater understanding of life, greater understanding of what's out there in the world, a greater understanding of everything. And my mother, who was a Baltimore girl, and she's in heaven now. My mom she was a handful. That's why I dedicated my book to her. But she really pushed me to be who I am. And as a single mom, she did her thing. And my mom, Loretta Ellis Blake, she did her thing to push me. But that was the experience of experiencing life in Baltimore. Those individual choices and the behaviors that pushed life out of me and pushed me to excel in life. And when I went to those churches, I seen the experience of the people. I was experiencing their faith and their belief in what they were doing. And when I talked to them about their financial situation, when I talked to them about what their aspirations were in life, it was all the same. They wanted to be financially independent. They wanted to be out of debt. They wanted those things for those families it was all the same. They wanted to have homes. They wanted to have the financial independence. But getting there was the toughest challenge. Some of them had the same stumbling blocks. Some of them had the same misconceptions. Some of them had information that wasn't fully developed just yet. And that's spurred me on and kept me going with doing my study. And because I've, like I said, being this investment advisor for 26 years, I saw it, and I felt it was there, but it wasn't until God put it in me to continue forward and do my study and write the book that I finally get that full understanding that this was needed. So the direct, purposeful experience and beyond. So from this rich experience that I sensed, it helped me to construct the ideas, the concepts, and the generalizations that give the meaning and the order to our financial lives. And so that's how it pulled out of me, because I went from, there was a short period of time in my life where we were on welfare, and I showed you the food stamp. Did I? Yeah. At the bottom here, that is a food stamp. That's how we spent money. I remember spending food stamps. That's a $1 food stamp. That's brown. $5 was I think it was purple. I think a $10 was like green. But it's paper money. But back then in the 70s, or I think it was mid 70s, late 70s, they wouldn't give you regular change in the beginning. It would give you plastic chips. And I felt so demeaned. It was so demeaning back then. How you gonna give me plastic chips, man? That's not real money. Even back then as a kid, I was like, it's like play money, man. It's like I didn't feel like a real person to get chump change like that. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it back then. And so even then as a child, I was like, you know what? I'm not going back here again. It's not happening. As a child, I thought that. And to where I'm at now, I'm like, that ain't happening. That's why whatever I did, I just did my best to keep fighting and scratching and fighting and scratching to get to a better place. And I said, I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to have my children get themselves into a place like that either. I'm going to make myself better up here, so I won't have to ever go back down there. When I point down there, I'm not saying that people down there at the bottom. I'm just saying I'm not going backwards. I'm not going to go backwards. I'm going to continue to go forward and fight to get forward. Because there's no need. I mean, there's so much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that's out there. I'm gonna go get it. You don't have to go to college because my mama didn't. My mama's ended up working 30 years at the state of Maryland and retired. You know, my mama didn't. She didn't have a degree. So you can do it, but you got to be smart about it. You got to have some experience with yourself. You got to have some know-how with yourself, and some hard. You got to graduate from the school of hard knocks, and you have to have your own PhD. You can be, PhD could be poor, hungry, and driven. It just don't stop. I just I got mine from a university, and just I'm nuts about reading and writing, so I'm kind of weird like that. All right, all of that for oh, this shouldn't be a video. Uh, okay, guess not. Back to the model. I want to put this model before you enough times that we really get it within us, because this is something that this is God gift to me. The knowledge, the skills in the middle that we have to continually look at and make a part of our mindset. The behavior on the end, and inside of the skill sets in here, we have to make that a continuous effort within our life. And then on the left hand side, these are behaviors, but those behaviors are used in the middle with the skill sets, right? So the skill sets, so the behaviors and the skill sets, you check it, you check those behaviors at each stage within the skill set. So you're looking at the economic, financial, monetary flaws, unrealistic, uh, and then the recreation. You're looking at all of that within the stewardship. You're looking at those behaviors within the economic, the money basics. You're looking at all those behaviors and you're investing. You're looking at all those behaviors within the borrowing. You're looking at all those behaviors. You're checking each behavior within each skill set. And if anything is needs correct, you're looking for detecting and correcting any errors in your thinking. And if there's any errors, you want to check it and change your behaviors. In the beginning, you're going to be checking and changing a lot of things. And each time you change it correct. In the beginning, you're going to minimize it. In the beginning, there's going to be a lot of changes. After a while, it's going to minimize, and you'll be able to adjust your behaviors, and then you'll be in your right financial course. So it's not really about making extra money or having extra money. You need to you chances are you have enough money coming in. You just need to check yourself. And if you're not checking what you're doing, not doing monetarily, that's why we're wrecked. That's what causes a wreck. We're undisciplined, and we haven't looked at. In most cases, we haven't looked at what we already have. If you've been working for over 20, 30 years and you don't have 100 grand saved up, or 50 grand saved up, or 25 grand saved up, something's wrecked. And we got to check it before we have another accident. All right. There's my contact information there. The name, business cell phone. It's my website. You can go there and take a look at some more information. Zoom, if you want to schedule a one-on-one meeting with me, you can go to Zoom. and schedule that one-on-one meeting, a calendar. Bear in mind, on Thursday, I'll be out of the country. I won't be back until the 23rd of October. I'll be in Italy uh, visiting my grandchildren. Yeah. My son and his wife will be there, but hey, I'm going to see my grandkids. Uh, then you can you can view all the videos related to my book and what I've been teaching so far on Patreon. You have to sign up to be a member there. You can pledge at least $1 a month if you want to. You will be able to see all the videos there. If you want to pledge more, you can. That way, it keeps me online, keeping all the programs I have in place to keep doing this online. It's not free. It comes out of Blake Media myself, my pocket to keep it going. You can apply to be the On Point webinar so you get notifications whenever I'm having information on or when I have something upcoming. Because I won't be here all the time. I'm going to always have other guests come in and share their insights to their business, their crusades as well. Because it's not all about me. I have others come on too as well. They have business ideas they like to share. And then one of my mantras there is you want to be focused. Uh-oh, my light almost bailed. Light was nothing. I gotta get another light. All right. So you want to maintain your focus, and that's to follow one course until you're successful. So whatever your course is, you want to follow it until you're successful. You're a pastor, follow that course. You're a teacher, you're an educator, follow that course. You're a firefighter, follow that course. You're in the military, follow that course. Until God gives you another assignment or another route you need to go in, follow that course. How do you know if God changes your assignment or he changes your direction? You'll know. It's like he told Elijah. He'll say, go down this way until if the road dries up or the river dries up, hey, it's time to change course. Right? All right. So with that, this has been Dr. Joe Blake with Blake Media, where we help you get your point across. I didn't say that in the beginning, but thank you for attending our message today. I want to say that it's always a pleasure being able to share the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with others. And if you have any feedback you'd like to give me, that's fine. I like the good stuff. You can give me the bad stuff too, but I like the good stuff. All right, everyone have a good day, good weekend. God bless.